Today I'm testing 3 different ways of softening butter without using a microwave. I just took these sticks of butter out of the fridge and I want to see how quickly I can get them to soften without using the microwave. So I'm going to shred one of them with a box grater. I'm going to flatten one out with a rolling pin, and I'm going to try an inverted hot bowl over this plate of butter. So I'm gonna start by heating this bowl up. I just boiled my kettle. So I'm gonna let this water sit in here for a couple of minutes just to heat the glass up before I empty it and put it over the plate. So while I'm waiting for that to happen, I'm going to grate this. I imagine this is gonna be the messiest method because if you get your hands on the butter, it's gonna make them really greasy. And you can keep it in the paper for a time, but eventually I'm gonna have to let go of this butter paper and actually get my hands on the butter. However, it's going to leave a lot of surface area exposed to the warm air because we're shredding it up into tiny pieces. So this should be a really effective way to get the butter softened up quickly. That's already feeling really soft. So I'm just gonna wipe my hands off and then I will pour that water out of the bowl and we'll get that turned over the butter. And I'm just gonna dry it because I don't want to add excess moisture to my butter. So we'll let that sit for a few minutes. And then the other method I wanted to try is rolling this out with a rolling pin. Still getting butter all over myself. I'm gonna move this out of the way so I'm not tempted to touch it. I don't know if I mentioned that this is parchment paper. You could do this in a Ziploc bag, but I think a parchment paper makes more sense because it easily peels off and it's cheaper than using plastic bags. So now that this is all rolled out, let's check how these are doing. This one is really soft. I could bake with this right now and it's only been a couple of minutes since I grated it. This is also very soft and pliable and ready to use. I'd recommend this method if you're stress baking and you need to let out some aggression. Grab your rolling pin and some parchment paper. And this is still pretty firm. I would not call this softened butter. It's not nearly as ready to use as these two. But then by comparison, my control that I pulled out earlier, it's been sitting here the whole time that I've been doing these other softening methods. It's still rock hard. This is gonna have to be sitting here for at least a half an hour in order for it to be ready to use. Obviously, if you think ahead, plan ahead, having your butter softening at room temperature for 30 to 60 minutes before you want to bake something is a great option. But after testing these 3 methods of softening your butter without having it sit out that long and without using a microwave, because microwaves can be inconsistent with the product that they give you at the end. You can have hot spots and cold spots in your butter. I think that rolling this butter out between the parchment paper with the rolling pin was definitely the best option. It gave the cleanest result and it was very consistent. The second best option, only because it made a bit more of a mess, was the box grater. The result was really consistent, but it made a bit more of a mess. So if you want to keep your hands a little cleaner, I would do the parchment paper. I think that the warm bowl over the plate was pretty ineffective. It didn't do much more than just doing it without the bowl, so I wouldn't recommend that. If this video was helpful to you, it would mean so much to me if you would like it, subscribe, and then we can spend more time together. I'm curious what your favorite method of warming up butter is. If you have better, more effective ways that you get it done, please drop those in the comments below, and I'll see you next time. Bye.